Guruji, Terry Penya, I feel so honored and delighted to be once again given this opportunity to share my experiences of Guruji, and especially on this day, his day, when we have all gathered together to extol him, to thank him for his beneficence, his love, his kindness, his grace. It's a date when we don't ask him for anything. We just sing the praises of the Lord, Guruji, and thank him for the kalyan that he has done for all of us. And Sangat ji, he did it without giving us any sermons, no lectures, asking us to get up early in the mornings and follow certain rituals or practices. ना ही कभी गुरुजी ने हमसे कहा कि आप ये खाना छोड़ दीजिए, या ये पीना बंद कर दीजिए, या ये करना बंद कर दीजिए, या इस दिन व्रत रखिए, या सुबह नहा के आसन लगाकर बैठ जाइए। उनके राज्य में तो सब आसान था, सब निराला था। हमें ना कुछ कभी एम्पायर स्टेट लाना पड़ता था, ना कोई गोलक, ना कोई चढ़ावा, कोई कच्चर परहेज नहीं। उन्होंने कभी किसी से जन्म पत्रियां नहीं मंगवाई थी। किसी ने अगर पूछ लिया कि गुरुजी अच्छा दिन कौन सा होता है, तो सभी दिन बराबर के थे। कोई हट के रस्म रिवाज नहीं था। अगर किसी आदमी ने अंगूठियां पहन के कोई आ जाता था संगत में, तो उन्होंने सारी अंगूठियां उतरवा देनी। ज्योतिष विद्या की कोई जगह ही नहीं थी यहाँ सब आसान था। आज कुछ कानून और पाबंदियां एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रीजंस के लिए अगर बड़ा मंदिर में लागू की गई हैं, समय समय पे लागू हो जाती हैं। ये सिर्फ स्ट्रीमलाइन करने के लिए है, ताकि संगत को कोई तकलीफ ना हो। गुरुजी मस्त थे, पूरे मनमौजी थे, लेकिन एम्पायर स्टेट में या जहाँ पर भी रहते थे, हम सब उनकी नजर में थे। एक पत्ता नहीं हिलता था उनके इजाजत के बिना। हम सभी उनकी स्क्रूटिनी में थे। He had this complete 360-degree vision and knew what was happening with his sangat. He just had to open the third eye and you were in his orbit. कई बार संगत में उन्होंने कहा कि आप मुझे ह्यूमंस या इंसान ही नजर आते, तो सिर्फ सारे मैंने चींटियां वंकर दिख रहे हो। He would know what we are eating, what we are speaking, what we are doing, what colors we are wearing, and किसके खिलाफ हम क्या रचा रहे हैं और किसे लूटने की हम प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं। हमारा सब कुछ उनकी नजर में था। अपनी एक्सरे आई से स्कैन कर लेते थे और जब जरूरत पड़ती थी तो उसका जिक्र भी कर देते थे। बड़ी फाइल खोल लीजिए। हमारे शरीर की कमजोरियां और मन की चालाकियां उनसे परे नहीं थी, सब उनकी जानकारी में था। आज भी इतने सालों के बाद कभी कभी मेरे मन में अगर कोई नेगेटिव थॉट आता है या किसी के प्रति कुछ विचार उठते हैं जो सही नहीं है, या किसी चीज पे गुस्सा आ जाता है, या किसी के साथ कड़क के मैं बोलती हूँ, तो मैं अपने आप को चेक करती हूँ, अपने आप को करेक्ट करने की कोशिश करती हूँ, क्योंकि ये एहसास हो गया था कि गुरुजी देख रहे हैं, गुरुजी इज वॉचिंग। आई रिकॉल एन इंसिडेंट which led to a very, very profound experience. This was around 2004, 2003 or 4. Two other friends of mine and I decided to go to the hills towards Lansdowne and Binsar, Uttarakhand, for a short holiday. Since I was with Air India, I had facilities to be able to hire a vehicle at the same company cost and travel around. So it was decided that we would not use any car and we would not use my car and that we would use this facility. At that time, I did not think it necessary that everything should be told to Guruji. हम सोचते थे कि ये छोटी छोटी बातें उनसे क्यों करनी है, उनको क्यों बर्डन करना है। ये तो यहाँ बड़ा काम करने आए हैं, सीरियस इश्यूज को संभालने आए हैं। So although I used to visit him every day when I was in station, I should sit next to him, but speak to him only when he spoke with me or I had something important to convey to him. So this holiday plan was not shared with him. ये तो एक छोटी सी बात थी. So off we went, the three of us, on this holiday, and we had a lot of fun. ढाबों में हमने रुकना, चाय पीनी, फॉरेस्ट में हमने जाना, कहीं पानी में चलना, कहीं मंदिरों में घूमना. We had a great time. Whilst traveling through the meadows of Windsor, there were these large wooden logs, and they were lying on the side of the road or in the meadows. So I decided to pick up one to use in my garden at Delhi. Although some local guy did bring it to the notice of the driver later that कच्ची लकड़ी जो पड़ी रहती है ये फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट की होती है और अगर हम पकड़े जाएं तो चालान हो सकता है, पर हमने इस पर ज्यादा ध्यान ही नहीं दिया. हम अपना नैनीताल पहुंच गए 2-3 दिन के बाद, and we had a rollicking time there. We went boating, we had lunch, and now we decided to return to Delhi. We had left Nainital. We were about 20-25 kilometers. Nainital was behind us when the police accosted us and wanted to check the driver's papers. The driver parked the car and walked across to the group of policemen standing there. We were sitting in the car and we noticed from the car that the things were getting heated up. They were getting from bad to worse. The cops were not releasing the driver and the situation was getting very, very grim. I also got worried that in case the cops decided to walk back to the car to check it out, we had that log lying in the back of the dicky. So I wanted to avoid the cops coming up to the car. 15-20 minutes had gone by and then I decided to intervene. So I got off the car and walked across to the cops, tried to find out what was the masla, showed them my government ID card and explained to them that the driver was not violating any rules, that the car was indeed rented out in my name by the Air India transporter and he was not indulging in any commercial misuse. Whilst all this was going on, I noticed one of my friends getting off the car and she was waving out to me, trying to engage my attention. She kept making isharas that my phone was ringing in the car. Now this, Sangatji, is the interesting part of the story, the divine intervention. I walked back and answered the phone. Hello? Who's this? So some guy answered the phone at the other end. He says, is that Darshan, Aunty? I said, yes. So he said, Darshan, Aunty, आपको पुलिस के साथ कोई प्रॉब्लम हुई है? So I said, आप कौन बोल रहे हैं? So he said, मैं हैरी बोल रहा हूँ. आपने अभी मुझे फोन किया था. मैंने कहा, हैरी? कौन हैरी? So he said, हैरी जो मैं संगत में आपको 1-2 बार मिला हूँ. I said, oh, okay, this guy who we had met once or twice but we really didn't know him well enough. So I said, हैरी, आपको कैसे मालूम? आप क्या अभी पीछे से गुजर के गए हो? आपने क्या मुझे देखा सड़क पे खड़े होकर पुलिस से मैं बात कर रही हूँ? So he says, वाकई में आप पुलिस में फंसे हुए हैं? So this was all very, very foxing. So he insisted that I had called him and I kept thinking, why would I call him? I don't even know the guy. So I was convinced he was lying and I was convinced that he had driven down and he had seen me standing talking to the cops. So when I conveyed this to him, he said, नहीं आंटी, मैं तो दिल्ली में बैठा हूँ, अपने ऑफिस में हूँ. I said, आपका ऑफिस कहाँ है? He said, cannot place me. So I asked him, he said, you take my landline number, my office's landline number and call me on that. So I switched to the phone, called him back on the landline number and he answered the phone. So I asked him, I said, Harry, what do you do? He said, oh, I'm in some financial business or something and I sit here in cannot place. So then he asked me, he said, problem क्या है? आपको सच में कोई problem है? आप हो कहाँ? Then I told him, हम तो नैनीताल में हैं. He said, नैनीताल में? We couldn't understand what he was saying. He couldn't understand what we were saying. Then finally he said, आपकी कोई is there any way that I can help you? So I said, no, I think it's all sorted out. Thank you very much. This is all stories you're making that, I called you. He kept on saying to Darshan, Aunty, I was not at my table. I came back to my table in the office and I saw this missed call from you. So I am therefore calling you back. I said, नहीं मुझे तुम्हारी बात नहीं समझ आ रही. So he finally ended up saying, ये तो फिर शायद गुरुजी की कोई करिश्मा होगा या उन्होंने कराया है. And he put the phone down. His friends of mine, Pammi and Leena and I, we were completely flummoxed with the mystery of the phone. हैरी सोचे कि हम बौखला गए हैं और मुझे पूरा यकीन था कि ये आदमी पागल है. अरे इसमें गुरुजी का क्या काम? How is Guruji involved with this? He does not even know that we are in Nainital and he is not in the police that he will come out and help us or make arrangements to help us. Anyway, we sat in the car and we started driving back to Delhi. Throughout the journey, there was silence, but every time when we started talking, the topic would revert back to this strange call that we'd got from some guy called Harry and how he knew that we were stuck with the police. The driver also heard the story He also understood something had happened. वो हमें पूछता रहे, गुरुजी, कौन गुरुजी, कैसे गुरुजी? Anyway, we finally reached Delhi. At the first opportunity that I got, I visited Guruji. I matha tekot. He smiled and said, "रास्ते विच पुलिस ने तंग तो नहीं किया था?" Oh, Sangat ji, the heavens opened up. The light began shining and God revealed himself. I then understood that Guruji worked like this. He wrapped everyone around in his embrace and took care of his Sangat wherever they are. This may have occurred to you in your lives as well as it has in mine. In the process, when we were kids and we were growing up, through a process of learning, school, college, education, we always had elders at home, teachers in school, who always told us to be good humans. बुरे काम मत करो, झूठ मत बोलो, अच्छे से पढ़ो, भगवान देखता है. They always maintained that God was watching. Often, during that growing up time, I used to question this invisible God, especially with my grandmother, who used to talk about it mostly. I would want to know which God, who God. I've never seen him. I don't hear him. The only God I know is when we go to the Gurdwara and eat Kada Prasad, or when we go to a temple and we get a peda. That day, when I was well over 50 years old, this realization sank into my being. The meaning of omnipresence. मैं सर्वव्यापी हूँ, मैं सभी जगह उपस्थित हूँ. Omniscience, मैं सर्वदर्शी हूँ, मुझ में सारा ज्ञान समाया है. I am all knowing. Omnipotence, मैं सर्व शक्तिमान हूँ, मुझ में सभी शक्तियाँ हैं. And this great lesson, this understanding of that childhood invisible God, the understanding that God was really around us and he moved in everything, in all the elements. This came from dear Guruji. From this tiny incident on some national highway between Nainital and Delhi, where some cops were troubling a driver. Guruji was in Delhi. He knew of my problem with the cops in Nainital. He arranged mysterious phone calls and conveyed to me, Darshan Aunty, तेरा मेनू सब पता है, कुछ नहीं छिपिया, तू दसे या ना दसे, मैं ते रब हाँ. And believe me, Sangat ji, this whole thought was very comforting. जब हम एम्पायर स्टेट जाते थे, थोड़ा थोड़ा डर तो लगता था कि मन में हमारे कुछ बातें होंगी या हमने कुछ गलत विचार है हमारे मन में, और गुरुजी एकदम उठा लेंगे. गुरुजी को बिल्कुल मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि हमारे दिल में गुस्सा क्यों है या हम किसी के बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं. But at the end of the day, I felt so safe, so warm to know that someone, somewhere is always looking after me, protecting me and showering me with all his love and care. Of course, after this, Guruji always knew of my whereabouts and where I was traveling and when I was returning on flight duties. And this is another of his godly attributes, that he reaches out to his Sangat in a crisis and makes the impossible possible. Today, let's all get together. Let's connect with Guruji. Guruji always said, मेरे नाल connect करो. I request you all to join me in this little abhyas, wherever you are, in whichever part of the world that you are in, whether you are sitting or standing. Please imagine that you are looking at yourself in a glass mirror. And what is it that you see? What is it that reflects back? आप अपने आप को देख रहे हैं. आपकी अपनी रिफ्लेक्शन आपको दिखाई दे रही है, और आपकी आंखों में गुरुजी की रोशनी है. दिल में कहीं छोटी सी जगह में गुरुजी विराजमान है. Please place your hands together in pranam and let's all bow at his feet, offering him our love, devotion and prayers. Guruji, to you on this, your day of Guru Purnima, please accept your Sangat's humble offerings. Jai Guruji.